Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, shalom again, everyone. So today I would like to introduce myself. I am Joanna Pierre from Trinidad and Tobago, and I am going to introduce Dr. Santy Kit Ling Lee, and she's going to present to us today's talk 27, which is the causes and treatment of personality disorder. And Dr. Santy is a specialist in spiritual, physical, emotional cleansing, and training. And she has earned her PhD in clinical psychology at California University. She also received the certificates from a College of Nutrition in Toronto. You can also find her from number 11 to 26 at her YouTube channel called Messianic Healing, and talk 1 to 10 at the House of Israel, UK. The title of talk 27 today is Causes and Treatment of Personality Disorder. So everyone, let's welcome Dr. Santy Lee. Hi, Dr. Santy.
Hi, everyone. Hi, happy to see everyone. And I'm so glad that I got a chance to share talk 27. That's part of my series of spiritual, physical, and emotional cleansing training. You have heard talk 26 and talk 25 about the description of a different personality disorder. And you may wonder if I can introduce the causes and treatment. Today is the opportunity. After knowing the characteristics of personality disorder, which is the hidden deficit, it is worthy to find out the causes and treatment of this large group of neurotic attitude and behavior. People around this group of people surrounded by this group of people may be bothered by them in the daily life or community contact. They may wonder what has happened to this group and how to manage them properly. Especially this group may have weak self-awareness of their thinking and behavior, causing problems to themselves and others. As the result, everyone will be emotionally or financially deprived. Well, be careful. Therefore, knowing the root causes will lead to proper treatment direction. Let's look at the causes. In my talk 24, I talk about understanding mental illness and deficiencies. So not all the abnormality have mental illness. Some of them have emotional deficiencies. So in that talk, I use Harvard and Lyons model to explain the new perspective in judging and making assessment on these conditions. In addition, with my own view on prolonged stress from upbringings. See, in my previous talk, I talked about dysfunctional family rules. I hope you remember, right? And if you live in a dysfunctional family practicing pathological rules, then you may suffer from prolonged stress, daily stress, confusion, and also life full of traumas. If those trauma has not yet been dealt with, that cause problems in the future. The adaptive capacity, according to both Harvard, he introduced adaptive capacity. This capacity depends on two things. Number one, inheritance. Number two, life factors. This is not new to you. I present this view in my talk 24. If you want to know more detailing, you can go back to listen to it. The inheritance cause include genetic deposition and mind brain. You know, how do you see the world? Brain chemistry or brain neurotransmitter leads to a state of imbalance and genetic abnormality that would under the topic of genetic disposition. And also mind brain means perception of reality through self-destructive behavior. I suggest you write note and try to come up with a chart of from this few sentences, then you may have a more clear understanding. These factors include the genetic disposition that I'm talking about include a brain chemistry, brain neural transmitter. Okay, and these factors include all these the perception of the reality. All this would also have relationship to reward deficiency syndrome. Okay, if you don't receive reward, you may be disappointed. Negative self-esteem and trauma. Okay, the other major factor is life factor. I just mentioned the life factor. The life disposition include two factors: environmental and sense inputs. Environmental factors include the degree of nutrient deficiency. Check if this person is lack of vitamin B, omega-3 fats for the brain. Environmental toxicity. You know, if people they don't have any idea of taking proper kind and proper quality of vitamins and essential like omega-3 fats, omega-6, omega-9, that would reflect the brain lack of proper nutrition. And not only the brain, but the whole body, but mainly would affect the brain, so affect the thinking pattern. Also, we may this group of people may expose to environmental toxicity, exposure to aluminum. Oh yeah, aluminum. We use a lot of aluminum for cooking. Do you use it? Aluminum in the air, the spray from by the airplane. They spray the air with aluminum, and then we breathe into air full of aluminum. Chemical exposure such as glyphosate, glyphosate in agriculture. Look, I present this article earlier. What's for lunch? Okay, what's for lunch? And okay, so you can find quite a bit of glyphosate in the food. So do you eat this thing? Okay, do you eat this thing? Tim Horton. Tim Horton is going to kill me. Okay, do you eat this thing? Risk hate me, and then a carb, you know, the macaroni and cheese, and also oh, do you like this? Do you eat this? Can you see? Can you see? Okay. And do you feed your children with this? Let's see. This? Okay. Cereal. See, the baby eat a lot of them. Okay, cereal, different kind of cereal. Okay, so I see. Italy, they banned this thing, but we eat a lot. We cook a lot. Italy. Okay. Just be careful. Okay. Also, do you eat this? This is hummus. Hummus. See if I can show it to you. Hummus. You see hummus? Okay. Okay. Hummus. Okay. Roasted garlic. It tastes good on your taste, but it's not good for your body. Okay, manufactured foods. The article I just showed you from Equator website. Environmental allergies, food allergies, high histamine or intolerance, immune system impairment, intestinal dysbiosis. That means a parasitic infection, bacterial infection, fungus infection. Impaired bodily system, indigestion, blood sugar regulation problem due to excessive man-made sugar intake. Oh, who like candy? Who like sweet, colorful sweet, and who like so much of man-made chocolate? Okay, I'm not talking about dark chocolate. I'm talking about different kinds of artificial man-made sugar. Stimulants and drugs, lots of drugs cause you heavy metal toxicity. Okay. Well, I already make you angry with me. Are you angry with me? Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. These factors include. Okay. So I already talked about it, and let's see the next slide. The sense input include method of coping stress through interpretation. How do you interpret the event happened to you? You can choose to overcome it with a positive perspective, or you can be so disappointed or get angry or want to kill people. Okay, it depends on the way how you interpret. Give thanks to Yehovah all the time. Nutrition can make a major difference on perception. Wow, is that right? Yes. From my clinical experience and from some people, many people, they took my advice seriously. I can see big difference. According to Banner, underlying personality structures. Oh, look at this guy. He opened up, he give us the key of personality disorder. Underlying personality structures are the major cause of maladaptation rather than understanding the superficial mental symptoms. Therefore, biochemistry imbalance reflecting from genetic structural alternation would be maybe the root cause of personality disorder. Okay, so we have to pay attention to
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so if we can treat the personality structure, then majority of the problem may reduce. Other than Holman and Lyon and my perspective on this emotional cause of this disorder, then I strongly believe the genetic expression of personality structure is the root problem. I also find upbringing, emotional atmosphere, and parenting style also add up the expression of personality structural malfunctioning. Okay, so biochemical and environmental and broader background. Therefore, examining and improving the bodily condition. Ooh, look at this. Sufficient nutrients. Eliminate inputs of toxicities and a thorough process of detoxification. More significantly, changing the personality structure is the key treatment direction. Even though it's difficult, but sometimes, and also sometimes discouraging, it depends on the individual, if this individual take the advice or not. But if this individual take the advice of willing to change the personality structure, we can see positive outcome. It requires, look at this, okay. I'm going to educate you how to make a revolution steps, okay. It requires drastic changes to the person's life circumstances, because I'm talking about a personality structure, okay? You may say, Dr. Lee, you are so tough. I want to uproot the problem. I want to heal that person. Particularly increasing uncertainty. Come on, Dr. Lee, don't do that. Stress or loss of a supporting person, maybe your spouse or your parents or your sibling or something important, your co-circle or your employer, may make sweeping changes. Look at this, sweeping changes, roller coaster trip. The demands made by this individual's role in life, especially as one perceived in it in terms of prestige, you're no longer the top of the world, or this person's amount of control, or you cannot control people around you. Oh, come on, this person has controlled people, everyone in the past for years. If he lost this ability, that means he has, well, the control he had used to over his future can also greatly reduce or increase his symptoms. Wow, it takes quite a big change and effort around people, exercise those change around this person. This person's explosive behavior may bring him into treatment. Sometimes that may be may require police or professional like counselor's help. Disregard of his willingness or even wake him up. Just give you an example, if the person start to cut his body or try to attempt murder, of course we have to seek help immediately, okay? And however, no matter this person want or not, we have to save his life and save people's life around him. So it may take drastic action. Okay. So that's why one of the questions I asked last time is, are you codependent with this person? If you're not, then it's good news. Due to the individual's weaknesses in self-perception and reality judgment. From my clinical experiences and life experiences, creating an artificial condition which induces drastic change or loss in the relationship. For example, the spouse may leave this person. The spouse may bring all the children and left this person alone. Dependent structure like employment or family or even faith community. Isolate this person, something like that, for only that period of time. Prestige or achievement or lost face. This may pose a surprise shock and provide positive clinical impact on this person. The person's close circle, including family and faith community I just mentioned, or employer must make much efforts in uprooting a pathological pattern of perception and behavior. Oh, yes. But the close circle have to be very cooperative with the therapist. effective treatment include nutrition, if that person's willing, maybe after the drastic change, to alter the biochemical imbalance, leading to personality structural malfunctioning, as well as psychotherapy, family therapy, because the individual is a part of the family. I was the approved supervisor with American Association of Marriage and Family Therapy. I trained my supervisor trained marriage and family therapy. We can find people with personality disorder require a marriage and family assessment and treatment helpful. Okay, so I hope you can consider that. About managing crisis and acting out behavior, many personality disorder people use self-cutting, I mentioned earlier, and other forms of pain induction to regulate the sense of self. It only results in destruction, such as mental breakdown, serious homicidal or suicidal risk, calling to protective services, mental service professionals or police is necessary. So crisis intervention. Since the diversity of the features of personality disorder, faith community is composed of a variety of multicultural participants. The leaders, the spiritual leader, are advised to know the nature of such disorder, educate the community, proper acceptance, boundary guarding, and practice discipline. Okay, many churches may disregard discipline, but discipline, you grow, you positive result. I mentioned about nutrition. I remember that one time I can see a change if that person is willing to make change on their diet and supplement. Okay, let me summarize the treatment direction. Public education to protect and guide family and community. Practice of proper boundary building. Not many people know the importance of boundary building. Spiritual leaders, sound judgment of discernment, proper allowance and discipline. I tell you, in one faith community, the leader, they don't have the idea of the features of personality disorder. But in that community, one person suffer from paranoid personality disorder. This person grew up in lots of junk food and not take omega-3. Until now, that person does not know how to cook properly, always eat food with MSG or junk food. That would make the paranoid feature more serious. But the spiritual leader do have no idea what's behind that person's mind. Divine healing and prayers, cooperative efforts in clinically rescuing the individual from harming himself or herself or others, and coupled with professional involvement. I highly recommend that therapists or counselor need to have a training in personality disorder. Continue encouraging the individual and his close circle to receive immediate and ongoing Holy Spirit filled psychotherapy, Holy Spirit filled family therapy. So we Torah observant the best, nutritional assistance to upward to make the personality structure more effective, change in make positive change in personality structure. Okay, I use the following reference to come up with this presentation: DSM-5, DSM-4 by American Psychiatric Association. Banner, as I said, he's the key guy to fire the key. the root cause of this type of behavior. Changes that hue, boundary building. Okay, the food that I mentioned about lots of glyphosate is by this. Okay, what is in your lunch? How glyphosate find its way into your children, not only your children but adults' food. Go to take a look on the website. Optimal Nutrition for the Mind by Harvard, important book. Healing the Hyperactive Brain by Michael Lyon. He's very excellent. And also, finally, I introduced McFarland. He is the editor of different types of personality disorder can be treated, can be assessed by family therapists. Family treatment of personality disorder. Very important book. Okay. If you find that my presentation is helpful, I appreciate if you can give me support, financial support, not only press support. If you like, you can send offering to Western Union. Remember to put my first name, Santy Kit L, last name Lee, country Canada. In case if I'm in Panama to present any talk, I will tell the audience that change the Canada to Panama. But now I still in Canada, so you can put the country is Canada. Thank you for your offering, and may Yahweh reward you greatly. Or you can, for the my group, HOI UK or HOI academy, and I want people would be benefit from my presentation to enrich your perspective of relating to people or self-understanding too. Okay, let me go to conversation now, Q&A time. Wow, good to see everyone there. Jasmine, Steve, Osman, Delore, Janet, and Joanna. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you for your introduction. Okay, can you tell me your feedback? Any questions? We have 10 minutes.
One thing that I came into my mind for some reason was, you've heard of the condition called hyperglycemic? When people have like a sugar rush?
Yeah.
Hyperglycemia. I think it's been mentioned. What do you know about that?
Okay. I don't know what happened to my screen. I lost everyone. And
Excuse me, Steve, I'm not hearing you at all on my end. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I didn't hear anything you said.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Let me go back.
We can hear you, Steve.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You can hear me, but not see me, right?
we can see you and hear you.
We can see you and hear you.
I cannot see you. I can hear you. Well, okay, let me see. Okay. Oh, there you go. The advertisement keep interrupting. Okay, so you asked about Stephen, can you ask?
Hyperglycemia.
Mm-hmm.
What effect does that have on people?
Oh, hypoglycemia. You asked very important question. When a person takes artificial sugar, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that person blood vessel full of artificial sugar, and it affects the blood pressure. Ooh, high blood pressure. Wow, come on! If that person always eat deep fried food in the past for years, the diameter of the blood circle full of dirt, full of fat, and coupled with the sugar, come on, that person can get may be happy to eat the sugary food for a short while or 10 minutes, but However, after a short while, how come that person feel aggressive, tired, a loss of motivation? That's the impact of both facts, the wrong kind of fats, and also the artificial sugar. If you crave for sugar, you can eat fig, F-I-G, figs.
Oh, I hate figs.
You like figs? Okay.
No, I don't like them.
Okay, or banana.
Someone suggested dates.
Yeah, days, but don't eat 10 days 1 hour. I'm not talking about that. Just use it as eat it,
Yeah.
take it in a controlled manner to replace the artificial sugar, and even a small amount of dark chocolate.
Well, I don't eat refined sugar. I only use demerara cane sugar.
Yeah, cane
So
sugar.
brown sugar. I don't go near the white sugar.
Father's sugar.
Mm.
Intake father's sugar.
Mm.
In a proper amount, in a proper manner. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And coconut, sugar from coconut is good too. Okay, hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia affect our thyroid functioning and adrenaline functioning. There's so much relationship in our hormone, in our blood pressure, in our brain functioning. Can you think clearly, or you want to act a question, act aggressively, something like that, your emotional expression, all in related to each other. That's why when especially children with developmental disorder, if you feed them with colorful candy,
Yeah.
within an hour, you see they're going to kill you. They want to fight with the peers and argue with you. Oh, come on, see the damage of.
I mean, I used to have I had a friend, and she confided in me one day, but she was hyperglycemic because she never told anyone. Because I did notice, but sometimes when we used to sit down and eat a cake, she'd go a bit batty. I mean, she's a bit eccentric anyway, but she just went weirder. And one day she said, "Don't tell anyone, but I happen to be hyperglycemic."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, sorry." I just thought I thought I'd ask that question because it's like when children have too much sugar, they go crazy. So yeah, I thought I'd bring it up. So anyway, thank you.
You're welcome. You give us very good hints. Allow me to express my concern to SNAP, the proper SNAP for children. If your friend invite him to contact me with me, see if I can uproot the craving problem or the hyper or hypoglycemia problem. Okay, do you find today's I kind of old enough to introduce drastic change. Why then, oh, Dr. Lee, you've been so soft in so many talks. How come you're so cruel this time? You're so hard on people. But I can see big change, positive change for the whole family. You want to give me some comment, or have you learned something from this presentation?
Sister Santy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead now. Go ahead, Janet.
sorry, Joanna.
You go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay,
Yeah.
Sister Santy, your teachings have helped a lot. I've altered a lot of my eating habits. You're right. You know, when I would eat fast food or any kind of like fried food, I would always feel like, why am I so sluggish? You know, and sugars aren't like my biggest thing, but when I do have a sweet tooth, I do run to some sugars. But is sugar-free options okay to have?
Yeah, people on special diet temporary, they I find that yeah, you can control your diet. Yeah. However, if you crave for replacement, I just gave some suggestions. But anyway, and many sugar from father food to take. But you can, you can fast. When you fast, you have no sugar, nothing intake body. I'm so glad that you find that a change of diet helped you.
Yeah, it has, because, well, not that I was big on fried foods, but when, like I said, or sugars, but after a while, even just eating it, even though I don't eat it all the time, even when you do feel that sluggish and, brain fog and like tired. But after coming into like a certain diet, not that I follow it full-heartedly, I do have my alterations, but I have altered like sugar-free options and I feel more energetic. I do think better.
Yes.
But I was just wondering if like that's something to be aware of, like sugar-free is like wiping sugar, like could that do a different side effect?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. We have 1 minute and 16 seconds. Joanna, can you tell us what do you want to say?
Sure. Well, actually, I have 3 questions. I'm hoping we can get through it in time. But one of the questions is just for you to bring clarity on the difference between mental illness and mental deficiency. From what I understand, deficiency would more or less be dietary, but I just wanted clarification. My second question is, what would be the best approach for improving mental deficiencies when a healthy diet is not as easy to achieve?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead on the third question.
Okay, quickly mention.
And the third question is, when you mention spiritual leaders must discern and use song judgment, that is a bit tricky in the sense where how can that, or what would you suggest I should say a spiritual leader looking into or discerning to know the difference between a spiritual issue as opposed to a physical or mental one?
I will explain later, but my concern is that diet change